This is one of the most desirable cars on Earth, the car of James Bond, a symbol of British elegance so powerful that kings, spies, and billionaires have all wanted one. The Aston Martin is a legend, but here is the secret hidden behind that flawless image. This company is one of the most spectacular financial disasters in the history of the automobile. Over its lifetime, Aston Martin went bankrupt, or to the very edge of collapse, 7 times. 7. Most companies die the first time they run out of money. Aston Martin did it again, and again, and again for 100 years, and somehow refused to stay dead. This is the story of how two friends built a beautiful car in a tiny London workshop. How it went broke almost immediately and kept going broke for a century, and how a fictional spy may have saved it from disappearing forever. It comes in 3 parts: the founders who built a legend they couldn't afford, the century of bankruptcies that should have killed it, and the spy who made it immortal. If you enjoy these rise and fall stories, take a second to subscribe and hit like. It genuinely helps. Now let's go back to London in 1913. Aston Martin was born in 1913, founded by 2 friends, Lionel Martin and Robert Bamford. Martin was an impeccably dressed racing enthusiast whose family had money from mining. Bamford was a talented engineer. They started out selling other companies' cars from a small London workshop. But Martin loved to race. He had success at a hill climb event in a place called Aston Clinton. So when the 2 men decided to build their own car, they fused the name of that hill with Martin's own surname. Aston Martin, a name that would become a legend, attached to a company that could barely stay alive, and the trouble started almost immediately. They built their first car in 1915, and then the First World War shut everything down. Both founders went off to serve. This is the pattern that would define Aston Martin forever: a beautiful idea, constantly interrupted by catastrophe. After the war, they regrouped, but Bamford left the company in 1920. And then came the first real collapse. Despite building fast, admired cars, and even setting speed records, Aston Martin simply couldn't make money. The cars were too expensive to build and too few to sell. By the mid-1920s, the company went bankrupt, and Lionel Martin was forced out. He left to design bicycles. That is bankruptcy number 1 and 2, before the company was even 15 years old. And here, the deadly pattern was already set. The company made gorgeous, hand-built, painfully expensive cars in tiny numbers. Each one was a work of art, and art almost never makes money. Aston Martin would spend the next 100 years being rescued, going broke, and being rescued again by a parade of wealthy owners who all fell in love with the brand. And all discovered the same brutal truth: owning Aston Martin is a fantastic way to lose a fortune. Through the following decades, it was passed like a beautiful, cursed heirloom. Wealthy enthusiasts bought it, poured money in, and watched it drain away. It changed owners over and over. But in 1947, it was rescued by the man who would give it its golden age. A British industrialist named David Brown bought Aston Martin, and he put his own initials on the cars. DB. The DB series was born. A British industrialist named David Brown bought Aston Martin, and he put his own initials on the cars. DB. The DB series was born. These were the cars that turned Aston Martin from a struggling curiosity into a symbol of elegance and speed, and one was about to become the most famous car in the world. In 1964, a film was released that changed everything. Goldfinger, James Bond, and Bond drove a silver Aston Martin DB5, bristling with hidden gadgets, machine guns, and an ejector seat. In an instant, Aston Martin became the coolest car on the planet. The association was so powerful it has lasted over 60 years. The DB5 has returned in Bond film after Bond film, decade after decade. Think about the irony. This company could barely survive as a business, but as a symbol, as a piece of pure desire, it became one of the most valuable brand images in the world. James Bond gave Aston Martin something money couldn't buy, and bankruptcy couldn't kill: immortality in the public imagination. But image doesn't pay the bills. And behind the glamour, the disasters kept coming. Even with Bond, even with the golden DB era, Aston Martin kept sliding toward ruin. David Brown himself, after paying off the company's debts, eventually sold it in the 1970s. And the new owners hit the wall again. The oil crises took their toll. The company collapsed and was rescued yet again and again through the 1970s and 1980s under a rotating cast of owners. Each new savior kept the dream alive a little longer, then ran out of road. Finally, in 1987, a giant stepped in. Ford, the American Colossus, took a stake. For the first time, Aston Martin had deep pockets. Ford invested heavily, built new factories, and modernized production. Under Ford, Aston Martin finally built cars in meaningful numbers. For about 2 decades, the endless cycle of collapse paused, but even that didn't last. In 2007, Ford, needing cash, sold Aston Martin off to a consortium of investors. And the old curse came right back. Which brings us to the most honest quote in this entire story. When a new CEO named Andy Palmer took over in 2014, he looked at the history. In the first century, he admitted, Aston Martin went bankrupt 7 times. His mission was to make sure the second century wasn't like the first. A company that went bankrupt 7 times, a brand whose founders were pushed out, a legend owned by an endless parade of rescuers. And yet, it's still here. Still building some of the most beautiful cars on Earth. Still on Bond's driveway. Here's the strange truth. Aston Martin never lost the magic. The image was so powerful that someone rich always appeared at the last second to save it. It proves a brand can be a catastrophic business and an immortal legend at the same time. That's the rise and fall, and rise and fall and rise of Aston Martin. The company too beautiful to succeed and too beloved to die. Because here's the truth, this channel keeps digging up. Sometimes what keeps an empire alive isn't profit, but pure, stubborn desire. The world refusing to let a legend disappear. If you made it this far, subscribe and hit that like button. There are plenty more empires built and buried, and we dig up a new one every time. Thank you for watching.